Lake Suwa is a fantastic destination to visit as a day trip from Matsumoto, or if your train route takes you through the area. The view of the lake is stunning, so much so that the incredibly successful Your Name drew inspiration from it. But that's not all, as you can get a look at a very different castle and, best of all, experience a free footbath right within the train station while you wait. Missing your train has never been so relaxing. So join me as we explore from the train station and beyond. First, gotta get us down.
And for my last day in Matsumoto, I am in fact not in Matsumoto at all. This is Kami-suwa. This is another little city about an hour away from Matsumoto, but only 500 yen on the train, that has a gorgeous lake. So I am on my way to a lovely vantage point to view the entire lake before seeing exactly what this city has to offer. Come and join.
I start my climb upwards by letting Google take the wheel, taking me down some very interesting roads, and as we walk we can see the lake even more as we approach the vantage point. We keep going, but eventually we arrive.
And here it is, 20 minutes of climbing. We get an amazing view of this lake and the entire city. It spans both sides of this lake. It really is civilization everywhere. I feel it's a little more built up than Your Name led me to believe, but of course it was only based on this area. The shadows of the mountains in the background are again a stunning view for what's behind here. And there's a few other little lovely things at this park as well. There's this nice little clock tower, you can see the view, and can't quite make out the other things on our agenda today, so let's go and have a look at them up close.
As I see the lake from on high, I zoom in and try and figure out where do I want to go, how far do I want to walk. And I choose a point, and that's where we're heading. And while I do try and avoid filming people when I'm in an area like this, I couldn't help but get a time lapse over the lake. And I don't know what they were doing, but there was some kind of company dance practice thing in front of the lake that we saw a little bit of their practicing there. I didn't get all of it, but that sure was interesting to just wait and watch. Upon making my descent, my first objective was clear. I was going to walk along a few nice river roads towards the castle. And honestly, unless you're a castle fanatic, one thing you'll see about castles in Japan, they're not all worth going in, they can be samey, unless you're interested in the history of the place, which is often outside, like right here, saying it was rebuilt recently. But it's always worth visiting the area because the gardens outside a lot of castles are stunning by themselves.
And here we are at Takashima Castle. This castle was only actually built 50 years ago, so you can probably tell it looks a lot more new than Matsumoto Castle, but the size is very small in comparison. I found it very interesting that this was actually torn down. There was a movement in Japan to get rid of old relics like this and introduce new features, so this was turned into a lovely public park, which is actually gorgeous. But then later on they decided in 1970, yeah, we kind of want that history back. And so it was reborn.
One thing I really appreciate about both Japan's rivers and lakes is often how just uncommercialized they are. They just have public gardens and walkways and things that you can enjoy without trying to shove something in your face to sell. Sure, some of them will have the odd ice cream stand. There are certain rivers like in Kyoto that have a lot, but for the most part, you just get to enjoy.
And here we are at the lakefront with a lovely garden beside us. It is nice for Matsumoto that this is on the doorstep. I do enjoy Japan's lakes quite a lot. The birds are enjoying it as well. So I'm going to have a little sit down, enjoy the sight, and try a salt lemon Kit Kat, the most unusual flavour I've come across so far. See if it's any good. I wasn't sure that salt and lemon go well together, but they really do. Recommend for 40 yen. have seen this. It's 16 kilometers to walk all the way around this place. So it is possible to do, in theory, but it won't be possible for me today because it gets dark in an hour and I wanted to see other things here. But that's kind of it. I'm just going to walk along this lake for a little bit more and then head back for the last evening in Matsumoto. And I feel it would be remiss to say that one of the best fireworks shows in Japan apparently is in Lake Suwa once a year, but that's in August, so I am about 3 months too late for that. But if you do feel like visiting this area, bear it in mind.
Now I must admit, while exploring the lake I was enjoying, but I was honestly looking forward to get back to the train station to this. I saw it as I was leaving and was like, it's not the time now, but I want to see what this foot onsen feels like.
And my day, I secretly hoped I was going to have to wait for my train, because there's a literal footbath in this train station. But while you wait for your train, you can just relax and soak in some nice hot water, which after a day of walking is really nice. Every train station in Japan should have this.